Hold up right fast. We're going to do 5 seconds. All right. I wouldn't want to do this right fast. Hello, we're going to do this right fast. Hold up, give me a few minutes before we start this conversation. Hold up. We got a little few minutes right fast. We about got a little few minutes. Bear with me right fast. Hold up. She said we're gonna talk about because we're talking about value right here. I gotta get on my other tablet right fast. Let's start. I gotta start talking to people. Hold up. I gotta do this right fast. Let's do this right fast. Give me a few minutes while we update this stuff right now. All right. Let's keep this a little going right fast. Right. What up, guys? What up, guys? What up? I want to say something. We got Miss Beautiful. I call her Miss, so she's beautiful. And I want to tell you something. I've been in Dallas, and people want to say, we talk about value and we talk about God. And people say you don't look like the value. I have always been the value, and it's a narcissist. I've always did something as other people opinion in this world. They choose jealousy. That's the difference between those things. My values have always been shown. It's not about clothes. I have always people that know me in CFP. I've always had clothes. I have always had everything. Me just coming into that, I have always did that. Like you got to know something about me. I'm always changing my stuff. I go to Old Navy. I go shop at you. I have the little vests like Bow Wow and them have on in this little video. It's something about me. I'm always doing something different. You're not gonna catch me wearing things what you want to wear. Lil Wayne wear different things, right? Why the opinion of those things? But everybody else is wearing different things. So I need you to understand that, like, it's not what you think I don't look like. I always look like the blessing. But people choose jealousy. The mindset of it, you so busy worry about what another man, the relationship, by not focusing on what you need to focus on, growth together in a relationship. Let a business take that for that day. Let me tell you something. The blessing is being blind and being a narcissist and being racist because you can't understand it. God is misunderstood. The most thing we have in this world, I'm gonna tell you what's going on when I work that. We're gonna put Walmart in this thing. The most thing we got going on in the world, intimidation. You fear what you can't understand. You let other people intimidate you. How can you understand it? I seen it. I seen the chemistry when I'm at work at U-Haul or something. And I watch the old friend and like a old coworker intimidate another coworker that liked me. And we have to understand when we dealing with a certain time, you talk about value, you talk about people didn't take you for this. That's people always seeing the blessings. But a woman, I told my brother the most important thing. I get tired of dealing with a woman that ain't strong enough. I can't be the only one with the strong mentality, and you up there, you got jealous friends that don't hurt you. You worry about fitting in. That's the difference. They worry about fitting in. I told people like, I told you so busy worried about fitting in. Like people, what's fair? To love yourself, to understand you have to love yourself. When you talk about loving yourself, You have to understand. You need to, when a kid, because they die, whatever they be dying, so know what you want out of life. That'll stop you from dying. Write a thing in your book what you want. Stop caring what other people think. People know your, but they want to judge what they think they see. They blind. One thing, I'm on Live Me and I'm talking to people off of Live Me. We talked about people's spiritual side, but even if that's open, the spiritual side is open. The intimidation from people on the job, that can be the weakest link in the group. A woman can't be strong. A woman needs to be strong. A man can be strong, but if a woman can't be strong, how can you go and hold it together? You got a woman say, niggas be around it. You can't even be strong. So that's the difference between where we have here. And we have to understand those things. You know, Iran, he talked about God died for us. You know, people, God probably died, but people could have died with the love of him. The love of him, because they was afraid to die, because they fear something what they can't understand. They fear God, but you gotta understand the meaning of those things. Value is always there, but they laugh at it because they want to be Nazis. You don't know what I had to go through. They seen what I can do. You know, I was at 299. Jessica was right here, right now. She'll tell you, like, the difference from, they seen what I can do. They seen what I can do. The difference between those things. Hold up. I want to hear, because I want you to hear me. Like, hold up right fast. Hold up. Because are we talking now? This is based on a true story. This is based on a true story. I want you to know this is based on a true story. Like, I'm at 12:16 and they asked me to zone. She started laughing, right? At 12. Well, when I get to another story, and Jessica asked me to do it, they taking pictures and Charles and she take a picture and smile at me. You watching different behavior at different stores. And you have to identify those things when you watching different behavior. When I worked at 12:16, Yvonne laughed. You talking all this stuff. They see my value. My value was always there, but the managers, the narcissist is the problem. How can you understand that? And the narcissist is the problem. The managers, that's one that delaying the issues here. But and we get footage with the Justice Department to get the footage of the cameras of me zoning and Jessica smiling. We in two different worlds or two different stories. And you got a manager that's asking me to do something, and then she didn't laugh like the Yvonne them did and walk away like they did. You got to understand the racial behavior that these managers are showing. People know my video. Let me tell you something. Grizz taught me how to use a scrubber. I taught how to use a forklift. I'm taught how to do so many things. But that people are not willing to guide, what can things think? America, they don't practice what they preach. And that's the biggest thing where guidance are not happening. If I can hear one of the church members talk about people need guidance, but they're not willing to give it because of ego and determination and too much of domination. You do what I say, but not willing to understand it. Let me tell you, a manager is only doing what that manager telling them to do. I need you to do this, but they're not trying to teach them how to do it. That's the difference from when on the job or what we stand for. They're not trying to teach them, oh, I need you to do this. I didn't know. Let me tell you something. I worked at 14 years old, 15 years old. And I went on job sites. I was going to colleges. I was going on job sites. I got my first job as a stocker. But let me tell you, you had a narcissist named Renee. To this day, before I moved, the manager at U-Haul came in there over there. He said, I thought you was going. I was a stocker. But at the other stockers at Walmart, this is where we wanted me to be a stocker. And the narcissists at Renee don't want that to happen. The Mexican and the black employee don't want that. I had no problem with the stockers. My value is always there. But if we're gonna we talk about narcissists. We talk about black mindsets. We dealing with a lot of mindsets. And what we can do, I'm gonna tell you, when I got more experience from Toys R Us, and I'm working at Toys R Us in Louisville. This was before I got back on the side. And I like Toys R Us in Louisville, Miss Brittany them in Louisville. They teach me how to bend, okay? I was able to teach that 4 o'clock each morning. He said, I'm trying to teach you. I was able to teach the same thing that he taught me. When I went back to Walmart, Robert got scared. You getting with managers of fear and those things with the behavior of those things. The value always there. Coca-Cola wanted me to come to their team. How can you understand that I'm working at 1216 Miss Dab? They know my whole work. They know that the things that I put in, but it got like I had an employee, he worked at 1216, he'll tell me every morning. He'll tell me every morning, every evening that he'll come in, you're gonna get your, and he's a, me and him, it's been a while since we talked, but it's kind of hard because we ain't into the work chemistry anymore. So it's kind of hard. Like when I left year before last in 2019-20, it's kind of hard because me and him used to have a whole conversation. And it's kind of hard that we just say a few words to each other. Now it's hard because we haven't been in that work ethic with each other anymore. Because I'm still working, he's still, when he comes there, we haven't been in that work ethic anymore. And it's hard for us to do those things. And like none of it, like I used to help with the cash, I used to do all of those things. Those things never was the problem in those fourplex. You know what I'm saying? But when you dealing with misconduct and you dealing with narcissists, come on, I didn't know everything. Chris had to take me to use an electric pallet jack. It's a machine you turn the key. And ever since he taught me, we don't know anything at 14, 15-year-old. My value has been out there. But to this day, they still want me to come back to Big Lots. I thought you was going to come back out of high school. And Felicia in the car in South Dallas, and she in the car, and she's looking like standing by the window where the Target at. Standing by the window by the Target. And she's still like standing over there. She still like, you don't understand that, what we dealing with. Like people know my value, but that's not the case. That's not the case we have here, right? That's not the value. It's them throwing stones and hiding hands. It's them throwing stones because they got because they hold a title, they can throw stones at people. Come on, Grizz know what I can do. Grizz, let me tell you, we can look at facts here. If Grizz can bring you to all of the camps where I worked at and show you when I was on the clock where I worked at and did those things, how can we understand it? How can we understand it, right? If Grizz is able to show all of these things or where I worked at and did all of these things, how can we understand it? Forklift, using a machine, how to do a bell, all of these things. This is where, you know what, I went to the other store, right? And I'm sitting at 2996 and they tell me, I'm going to show you how to move around. And you know what I told that marketing manager? I never know this. I never know that they started teaching me things at 2996. Like the department manager for Uncut. And like, hold up. These are racist people at 1216. Racist managers was keeping things from me. I'm telling the marketing manager from 1216, he's a good guy. He looked at, I said, I didn't know that I can move around. And the manager is showing me all of these things. These are things that we got racism at 1216. You got to understand. But when a department manager off the CAP 2 team, off the team off the truck, and he said, Hugh, I'm going to show you. He sit me down, we sit down by the computer. I'm going to show you how to move around in different positions. Right? So he teaching me how to go on the computer, but you got narcissists. How can we understand that you got narcissists? We didn't know how a guy named Chris, he was there. He was there at 2996. You know the difference between, he's a co-manager, between Charles. Chris told me something before he left. He said, Chris, he was a co-manager. He said, Hubert, I get you to do the job because I know you can do it. And me, that moment, I was so mad when he left, when he went to another store. Because he said, Hubert, I get you the job because I know you can get it done. He asking me to do something, and I got it done. Like, hold up. That type of mindset that a manager has is great. That a core manager, at Chris, at the thing that he was at 2996, and he had, and like, damn, I didn't even get this same energy from Charles and Steve and them. You did not hear those words like when you hear positivity of Jeff and them lying and Steve and like, oh, you can't go out here. I kept making promises and I kept walking them. But when you get in a different energy, that's something. But the thing is this: when I left the other department, you know, I'm in the deli and the CSM, he would say, we miss you, good at what you do. Right? Right? You good at what you do. Like when I got on the 299C, let me tell you, I work with Rebecca's husband. He already know how I work. Shy only work with my mom. She don't know how I actually work with Rebecca. So I'm like, hold up, this is our plan. Phil. I got a plan for since I got Rebecca's husband here. Let's do it the way we're gonna do it. So every day I would just get on in there. I need you to come and open this door. I need you to do it. Because let me tell you where things at where Charles used to abuse the maintenance. And we used to have to do the take the boxes to the back, lift the crates up. We doing waxing, we did picking up. There's so many things this man used to do, and he just think he can get. I don't know. I'm not gonna let a person mistreat me. And you know, if you want people to stay with a positive attitude, your manager can't be negative. They don't pay me enough to do. I used to hear all this. Everybody used to talk about Charles. I say, hold up, man. Look. If you don't talk, you ain't not doing it. And talk about those things. You know, Grizz told me something when I first got there. Grizz said, Hubert, you can complain and you will never do nothing. And nobody want to hear you. You know what I was meant to tell him when he told me that? If I don't act, if my action. And I told James, says, this is the true story that Grizz told me. He told me in the burger, he said, Hubert, you can complain and nobody don't hear you. But if you're, and I meant to tell him, I was thinking at the time, he mean if my actions don't mean nothing. And Grizz, I wanted to tell Grizz something. And I told James in that room, since I had an experience at 12:16, I said, Grizz, let me remember what Grizz told me. He told me, this is a true story. I told James, I got on that phone, the same thing when we was on a conference call. The same thing was not going to happen. You got to get people trained. You got to be willing to work with people. And Grizz was the type of man. You know what Charles didn't like? Me and Grizz went to NASCAR. We talked to the sponsors at the DFW Forward Room. I had to talk to. They had some beautiful sponsors with the cars. I had that great relationship. We talking to them. Went to that, but he was also taking me to the store across the street. The building across the street that deal with Walmart. But he was also taking me to Home Depot. And Charles and them didn't like that. You got to understand what this man and other black managers didn't like that. They didn't like that Grizz was doing that. Charles didn't like that. So Charles was starting to be a nigga poor about it. And Grizz said, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. Grizz, I see what's going on. Grizz was going to leave anyway. He was going to leave anyway. Like he let me tell you what the deal was in that one. Grizz got tired of him doing me like that in that parking lot. You know what, Grizz? Some nights he would get out there in the parking lot. Oh, I'm getting this forklift. I'm not going to allow this to happen anymore. This is you dealing with. I had to cut Raymond off What type of person watch you sit up there pushing 1,000,000 carts out there in the parking lot without even, and see you struggling, and everybody sit in the middle and just watch and smile and laugh? What type of hypocrite that is? But you got the ball. Don't come at me with those things and those concepts of it. Value always has been given, but they haven't been given the respect and dignity of God because of the belief in Walmart. If we're gonna talk about those things, let's talk about what we mean of those things. Respect always been given. Value always been, but they took it for granted. Walmart took it, did with Charles and them took that for granted. And then James, and they called me out on my threat, and they still took it for granted when I said I was gonna call Doug McMillan. You know what Doug McMillan did? They did the opposite. This is how low down they are. See, when God played games, when God, let me tell you what the deal with you don't understand. Doug McMillan only playing nice when he only playing nice when we talk about Walmart. He only playing nice because Donald Trump stepped in. That see the hypocrites can the ball game can be thrown in, but him and his corporate office family playing nice because only because Trump stepped in. See, a lot that you don't go on. When the black employees respect it, they already know what I can do. But what's the sense for that? Some of the employees that I used to work with, they saw me cooking in Atlanta, off of Live, me and UP Live, and on my Facebook. You see, the hypocrites can talk to some of the same people in the day. They got me on our face. They got me on their Facebook. But we got the same. We got the same thing in those Facebook. What's the difference between those things and those situations? But you know what they said on the clock? People act like you got to be close to somebody to see when you hear them talking about and you read lips. And you talking about he become manager, I'm quitting. Oh, I ain't friendly with everybody. Like my old friends and my ex-girlfriend family member, he come in there, you have grown, we miss you. All the rest of them come in there. But you come in jealousy out the spirit. Don't talk about those things, and things are not given. Value have always been given. Baby, I've been doing music. That ain't nothing to the beginning thing. We understand the challenges that are ahead. No, I sit up this man, he got me to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he got me to read some other books. And the black guy come in 2996, he asked me, how you like? I told him I get him detailed. But Billy, you know what Billy told me? Billy said he's a marketing manager in Carrollton. And he said, Billy, we sat in Starbucks. It's gonna make sense sooner or later. We sat in Starbucks. And it's gonna make everything is gonna make sense when you catch on to it sooner or later. It's gonna catch on. It's gonna make sense sooner or later. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna catch on. So the thing is, it's gonna catch on sooner or later. So Billy told me in Starbucks when everybody trying to get on to my ideas in Starbucks, all this buffooning was going on in 2019. When people tell you can't do it and you go against the grain, you don't tell something wrong. Yeah, I always know what I can do it. I always known it. Me and Billy, he telling me about the books. The customers are telling me about the guy telling me about it. Even the people that came with their teenage daughters up in the Walmart 2996, and they say, you gonna get it. And they smile, you trying. And that's the difference between that you don't understand the difference between anything. But if you got narcissists in the room, how can we understand it? And to this day, I'm sitting up there with Felicia and my U-Haul manager, my Big Lots manager when I was 14. She said, I thought you was going to. I was a stockbroker. You know Renee lied? About Renee lied. We're going to put Big Lots in this stuff. You know what Renee lied? Renee lied, man. You dealing with a narcissist. You dealing with a narcissist, man. You dealing with a narcissist, man. Come on, man. Big Lots, I worked at 14 years old. And Big Lots have always played the part of disability. They didn't try to, Kroger's different. They want you to do certain things. Maybe no, Big Lots, I was in the furniture working on, but Renee live. While all of a sudden they still want me to come back. Edward don't remember who I am. And he needs to remember my face. He actually needs to see me. So it was busy to just talking on the phone, and she don't know, she probably don't remember. See, I could have told her I talked to Edward, but Edward don't remember my face or my voice. So it's busy to go up there because I was a kid. I was a kid at the time. So I'm working at 14, 15 years old. Big Lots is the biggest company. Big Lots never treat. You got all of these other companies that act in some type of way. But Big Lots is different. At 14 years old, we going on job sites and they playing. Big Lots have always been a part of something different. And they've always been a part of disability, and they learn the job skills. They doing it. I got my first job. I was a stocker, but I also helped build stuff in the furniture. How can you know value and you know understanding of those things? You know, how can you know those things and those coordinations of those things? Big Lots know what I do, but Renee lied. Don't come up to me when she still asks me. I bet you if I go to Big Lots, back to Big Lots in that same Walmart that I'm at, that same Walmart, if I go back to work and ask to be a stock, I bet you I get the position. And I bet you I have the experience. If I go back to my same Big Lots in Carrollton, and I go talk to Edward and them that's still Edward, hold up, and put on my clothes. This is the difference between me and them. If I asked Edward, she asked me this when I left. When I left out of ass in Carrollton, Texas, when Felicia, when the niggas in Dallas acting ass in Dallas, and then she talking, Felicia talking to them fake dudes. I got a fake girlfriend. So what's the difference between those things where the thing is, let's go to Big Lots and let's ask that question. Governor Abbott want to test that gangster, test your ability of your society. Big Lots never been like that. But Governor Abbott put everybody got negativity or what they talking about in negativity. No. This is about Trump, but Trump and them are still standing. Governor Abbott will still stand while he live. I'm going to stop screaming. And stop screaming. Those are the things we got to understand. Everybody going to try to put me down. They know what went on in my house, and the devil want to work. This is the difference where conflict at, where you got to keep family violence from going on. This is the difference where Governor Abbott, racist self, don't want to pay. See, this is the difference where he thinking about himself. One thing we don't understand, jealousy, greed, and people conflict over money will go against family, while other societies think about themselves and have hatred. But that's what they want. Governor Abbott want, right? But let me tell you, that same white man that y'all support, look what happened in that parking lot where Trump started. And then this street nigga gonna try to tell me what the fight for. You trying to get me to move around. You don't want to have that. You don't want to be on my team. See, that's the difference between people. We have to understand what Governor Abbott is trying to do. For his selfish community, for himself, we know the truth. But everybody say everybody got negativity talking about they gonna hit me. No, ain't none of that gonna happen. Because you know what that's gonna happen? Because they black and racist. That's the difference between you. Don't sit up there and talk about what is going on in this society where Trump is. The BG said, I bet y'all can use me. Trump just put his faith in his community and not put his faith in God. See, have you been on this earth in centuries and you've been in this business in centuries, you killing God. You killing God with your lies and your hatred of what you stand for. Now you're not killing God in the body, you killing God in the spirit. Don't talk about these things, and these things are being killed. in the definition of those things. A change is going, they don't care the same, but God said a change is going to come. Either way, it's going to come. And the community intimidated, they think they're going to fear God. And what Joe Biden, I told Joe Biden to put their heads in the ditch, in the river. You just because of your community, you want to keep the job. That don't work like that. Those things are not given in those principles. Those things are not given in those principles. They're not given like that. This man is stalling. He's stalling. You talk about a racist state that's, and I'm speaking my mind. Oh, what's going on about the tax dollars? I know this world. You have to know this world when it comes with a price to understand. But this man, God had, when God, let me tell you something. It didn't matter if God had, if he was black, white, Muslim, Bosnian, Jewish, Russian, Canadian, whatever it is. He had the light in him. It didn't matter what color he was. He saw his people starving. It didn't matter what color he was. And I need you to understand that. It didn't matter what color he was. It didn't matter what color he was, but he had light. He stood up in the dark with light, and he watched his people starve, and he came out in the open and talked. They wasn't willing to do that. They had, let me tell you, the people had sight, and they had power. They know that their people were starved. They know other people were starved. Those are the things we have to understand in the coordinations of those things to get the viewpoints, the understanding of those things. But what Governor Abbott have? These are people that have been on this earth, and the world have changed many times. The world have changed many times. What do they have now? They have the power, and they believe in God. They're willing to lose everything because of the selfish behavior that's still not willing to change. You're willing to lose everything. You're willing to keep. They are letting history repeat itself over and over again. Then they want to make an excuse. But the people around the world got to know this. When we show love, all love is just so the light will win no matter what. Those things have to be given. Let me tell you, I was at Newman Smith High School. Me and my classmate Sarah and them. We used to always talk on. Sometimes I used to sit in there with her sister. We used to sit at the table sometimes. She was in regular class. She was in regular classes too. Her other sister was in, and they Muslim. And we used to always sit in the cafeteria together sometimes. And she used to tell me in her country, you're not allowed to dare. They throw stones at you. And like, man, and you know, it's so hard for somebody to find what they want in love without the parents and the thing that's going to love them for them. That's going to actually love them for them. How can we understand that? How can we understand those things? And but God is showing love. It doesn't care to the Muslim. It don't care to the Jew. Just showing love. How can we understand those goals? What it should matter if who we be with and we love God. That's the difference with it. But the guy said, be careful who you. Come on, what's the difference when we on the same goal? Let me tell you something. I was dating this girl named Nikki. She in Springfield, Missouri, and I'm dating. I'm in an open relationship, but not really that tense open relationship. And she tell people she wanted to change, and she get back out there and do the same thing. But I'm taking you to your probation office. I'm walking with you. I'm trying to show you around. She worried about what everybody else have, and that's the difference. Like we might don't have a car. We might don't have these things. But if you worried about what people have, the reason why she fell off because she worried about what people have. The reason why those things are the way things is, she worried about what others have. Like, no, Hubert, let's get on this train together. I'm taking her to Lewis Irvin, Denton County. I think Denton County. And we're going to Denton. I think we're going to Denton. And we're going to her probation officer. And I'm talking to I'm sitting up there watching. But you got to want change. You can't be out there going back to the same thing and you putting another person in that same situation. Change has to happen when you observe, but don't sit up there. You got a bunch of female friends in Spring, Missouri, looking at me from the jail, talking to me. You talking to me, and you talking about you're gonna change, and you're not willing to change. You willing to go back out to somebody that never did nothing for you, and your brother that's hating. Your brother hating because you got Nikes on. A woman don't know how to see what's in front of her. Babe, you better understand. I've been in this thing since 14. My value been Sabina, my ex-girlfriend, used to watch me stop. You know, she can't lie about her mama can't lie. You ask her right now. You ask her right now, Sabina, mama, you ask her right now. She can't lie when she saw me stalking and doing all that. But she can't. But Renee, you didn't check that all, Renee. This is where the hypocrites at. I bet you if I go up there, see, this is why the devil trying to play. I bet you if I go and ask right now, go to Edward, go talk to Edward, come in with my suit, and go up there and tell Edward, okay, oh, I got a big lot right now, oh, right down the street. Hold up. Can I go talk? You got a big lot right down the street. We want to play this game, let's play. I can get my resume right now and tell him to talk to Edward, go on an interview right now in Big Lots. They got a Big Lots right down the street from my house. And pull up my resume. I got my resume on my computer. What you say? What you say? I can get them to call Edward and them over there in Carrollton, Texas right now. What are you saying? You see that these are businesses. What are you saying? So what are you saying? These are businesses. Edward and them wasn't like Walmart. And they still haven't changed. Kroger still haven't changed. You know what I mean? I went on an interview in Kroger's. You know what the difference is? I'm in orientation. Just because my handwriting wasn't right, was a little bit off. Like, I don't got the best handwriting, but I know how to write in cursive. He judged that, and I wanted to be in the deal. I said, hold up, this is not how. I seen the way he acted in that interview. And I say, hold up, I can't make this like another situation when I'm dealing with people in an interview. And I already had my shirt. As a person he do music, and I work with him at 1216. And he do music. He's cool he's my boy. And he was a good car pusher and he do music. While I was there, I was telling him to go on Live Me. This was back in 2018, 17. This was back, I was telling him to go on Live Me, 18, telling him to go on the broadcast that I was on. And I saw him more before I moved. I saw him. I need to because he got music. I used to work with at 1216. He got music, so I used to work with him. He used to just show me the music thing. So he used to just show me a lot of things that's going on, like the people I worked with at 1216. Let me tell you, the stockers know my position. They know my value. Coca-Cola know my value in. Coca-Cola know my value in that, and they try to get me to come in there and work so much, man. They try to get me to leave Walmart so much to come to them and come and work for them. And like, let me tell you something. I worked at DLW. When they saw, let me tell you something. When they saw the American side and international side and other people on the other side of the airport, he didn't like that. Because they didn't have the benefits. They had the money to give, but they didn't have the benefits that come with it. But smart cars have the money, but they don't have the benefits to give. So you got to understand where these people are. Me and the lady in American last time, we never had a problem. Me and her go back in the morning. We always talking. How you doing? When I'm not doing, when I caught up. Me and her always talking. The people that selling tickets in the American Airlines Center at the DFW, we always talking. Hey, how you doing? And the guy said, "Look how many people I met. Like everybody's coming up there to like talk. Like I had a girl get mad at me because we're in the elevator and we talked. She getting ready to leave, and she get mad at me because I didn't want to take the conversation further. Baby, would you like me for me? Come on, we understand what it, come on. I don't like. I never had a problem with being rejected. I never had a problem with these things. These things are never was. These things are what we talk about in those formats, but we have to understand what is at stake here and what's at stake. Nobody, I told him if I was your Walmart seat, I'd be over to this department, disability department. We're gonna pay people to actually go do the CPLs with the disability. They gotta want change. This is the thing we want change. And this is the change where even the people on Instagram, I have ideas for the CVS, the people in the Walmart. We got a bunch of ideas, but I told them, look, we're gonna pay people to go to each store. This is change. There's so many things that they can do, but you gotta teach certain individuals that you can to do it. It's so many things to do, but never tell your employee that they can't do something. They can't be nothing. Like you gotta understand. Like, hold up. I was actually one day I wanted to get a person that I wanted to get a second look at my career. So I think I wanted to get a second look at my career because let's see what's going on in the product because I'm not the problem here. Let's see what's going on. So I got a guy from Ticket to Work program went up there to he told me not to go back here, but let me work this out. Let me talk about this. And they said they don't believe in me. They don't believe in me. So those things, the coordination of those things is the bigger fact where a person for Ticket to Work program go up there and you tell this guy, you're a store manager, you're a manager. And then you're a manager. They called my mom. I didn't even want to go back. The guy told me that, but my mom was like, hold up, Roger. Hold up. Go see what they want. So they put me in the room and talk shit. Then I tried to talk to Charles and say some race thing and talk shit. And Charles walked away. He walked away from it. The behavior from the man, the behavior from the low down man. And this is like you get with other employees, like the person from the electronics, the black, they say we gotta put you down a little bit because you're gonna start feeling yourself. Why can't I have my confidence up? Why your position should overrank confidence and understand what growth wants, right? What those things should over well what those things for and those things are. Grizz had to get me on that strip. I was like, you don't wreck that. I had to take it. I had to get the hang of it. I had to get the hang of things, like literally get the hang of those things where those things was in those that plans. Baby, I didn't have a problem with some of my night employees, baby. Look, the value of what you talk about value, my value always been there. But it got Nazis, it got some black people acting like a total jerk. They can never use me. But when you start one answer, let me tell you something. When you start complaining about something, the boss don't pay attention to it. And this is why social security, this is where they are so stupid at. But look at what Governor Abbott doing. And he think this because he sit up there with Trump and sides was taken. He need them. This is true. Governor Abbott need them more than they need God because they wouldn't have did what they did. That's the difference between that. They don't know God like they said they know God. We talk about God, but God is just a spirit. He's just a body. He's a spirit. He never did say, when God said, I want to walk, can we get the population at 1 billion% to believe in God? At 1 billion%. Can we get that? Because God know when you don't believe in people. You know, one thing, God said, I don't have to be facing when you to see you when you're deceiving me. My eyes can be facing your back, and I can see deception. But also, God said this in those formats, those things is. You question those things and those abilities. They been know what I can do, man. They ain't stupid. They ain't stupid at all, man. Man, they been seeing value. Look, they been seeing value. But one thing I would not teach when I asked to grow, I would not keep telling people. I will not let racist Jeff and Steve them keep lying to me. I'm going to walk off on you every time. I'm going to walk off on racism. I don't regret nothing. I warned James in that conference room. And it seemed like don't talk about something where we don't understand. We don't understand. Right? Let me tell you something. When I left Toys R Us closed down. I had some problems to get where I was trying to go. But they taught me how to bet. Robert was scared. On that, then we look at that camera. And God said, we tell the Justice Department when we first met Robert, look at when Robert, the store manager, first worked there, and look at the cameras with Robert. And look at the jealousy that I was getting rid of those pallet feds. You got the jealousy between you. See, the disturbing that your value of jealousy and deception. That customer said the same thing of Ada. I'm outside the deli and that lady said something. I said they should start thinking before she hired. We see the mindset of it. But a customer, I'm sitting in there getting treated bad, and I'm getting mad at the situation. I'm telling them, and the customer look at me like I'm the problem. This was going on at 299. I said, and Cassie want to get my attention. Old friend, because Xavier jealous. Cassie, he rolling his eyes like a girl. The other guy with the glasses and attitude. I went to another store in Dallas and saw Xavier in there. He rolling his eyes like a little girl. In the Walmart business, you rolling your damn eyes, man. And I can't believe I'm sitting at another store in Dallas over there, and I see Xavier, and he rolling his eyes. Like, I said, hold up, man. You really acting like a girl. You really acting like a girl in this situation. Like Sabine Tabitha and them, you should have saw the jealousy with my old friends saying, we miss you, we miss you. And even Sabine and them family came in there like one of the cousin husband. You have grown. They know me since I was a kid. But like Big Lots managers, U-Haul manager, and they acting up, Walmart acting like a total jerk, man. This big guy that know me, he can't even remember. He looking at me, and he can't even remember that. Like, I remember you worked at Big Lots there, and I saw the way he was looking at me when I was done. I seen him. You can't even remember me, man. I worked with him, big, tall, black guy, big and heavy set, man. I worked with him at Big Lots. So Big Lots have always played the part of disability. But Kroger's don't know nothing about teamwork. They don't know nothing about teaching. Because your mindset, you already have your mind made up. I saw one of the person I used to work with at CI like that. Well, I used to work at with Big Lots. Big Lots have always played the big part of the companies of disability. And they still play the part of disability. They have more things to do. You don't listen. They been they ain't dumb. They ain't dumb at all, man. They ain't dumb at all, man. They ain't dumb at all. The stockers, man, wanted me to come, but Renee with it. But I had to learn something. If I didn't know what I would have known then, I would have just went in the system and got another position. Like, if I know when I actually would have known, I would have been like, hold up for a second. Like, if I would have known 299, I'm like, damn. These people are actually, these racist Nazis that taught they actually trying to stop my growth. And I'm like, hold up. I tell a department manager, and I told a marketing manager, I did not know that I can do it. He just looked. I said, I was still cool with him. I was still cool when he looked at me, and I saw his facial expression. I was still cool with him. I was like, man, I didn't even get mad at him. No, I worn chains. Then when a Chinese put me, all right, hold up. Then when a Chinese man put me in the office, look, I'm actually do something. I want to see if he's going to be able to work and do we work with people because you want to work with certain individuals. So we're gonna play something. We're gonna play the little game that you play. We're gonna play the little game that you play. So I'm gonna play. I don't know how to do this. So can you do this for me right there for me? I saw racism coming out that Chinese man in Walmart when he set me in that room. Let's talk about this for a second. Y'all want to let's talk about this. I saw racism. Let's talk about the things with that. They gave me project management. I understand Walmart gave me something. They gave me project management. Whatever you do, if you own your own Walmart company, they do all of these things, right? And I learned a lot from project management. You got to put the money in different parts of your business. You got to make sure the equipment taken care of, the store, you got the rent, you got to make sure different things, the merchandise, and different things that you have to make sure things when they gave me project management. But what can we do in those things where people ain't understanding us? That's the difference of those things and those qualifications. But let me tell you, you think it's okay for a white guy and a black and a black woman and a Mexican woman to put you in the office at 12:16. And I want them to remember, because God said, I remember everything that you said. I want them to remember that you think it's okay to tell somebody, fuck you. I don't like you dummy, fuck you. I don't like niggas. You dummy, you retarded. And fuck New Orleans. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I had to put it, let's talk about it. A black it's cool for a black woman with a white man and a Mexican and start saying those words that you are saying. You think it's cool, but that's the difference between me and we understand this world. And then a black woman do it again, Felicia, and they'll do it again. You do it the second time. But they don't want change. Dillman Miller wants to give it out. You gotta want change to get to Walmart. If you want to be a part of God change, or you want to be a part of the liars that want to play by their rules, they're not what God wants you to be a part of. History in the making. You got to be a part of something greater. What history they making? But if they act like they believe in God, a lot of other people was watching in the parking lot, and they do what I told you. And these niggas out there doing stupid shit and think that stuff pretty. Think that it's pretty to do that, man. And they just looking and allowing that to happen. That's what people does, man. When they think about themselves in that parking lot, the police don't even know nothing what's going on. I told them about the Civil Rights Act. I'm going to file a civil rights talking about that local government, community, sidewalk. All the way to Trump put me in this situation because he needed his people. You willing to risk it all for the lies and the lies that goes on. You willing to kill God in the spirit again because you're not trying understanding that? God's not going to die by body. But you killing the spirit with your lie, hatred and lies. With your non-understanding and these coordinations of the value point on where we going. God, it's the truth. But we need to understand what is so much important. That's the truth. We can be all over the disability part. My job would be over this department as a CEO. Let's change this world. Let's change. We got to be able to make changes. Let's figure out. Let's figure out those things where we can do good, and you got to be willing. I got a great personality. I was made for this, but I know what I have to do to order to make change. But people are about to destroy that because of lies. The contract is already signed with Walmart. You don't even know. But that girl at this Walmart, She said, I'm a liar and I'm going to prove it. How am I a liar? See, when I got an evaluation again, they did not ask me the same thing. You know why they didn't ask me the same thing when I got back in there? Why the doctor didn't? Because this is the difference between me and them. Why they did not ask me the same thing? When that Judge Kennedy was acting like a dummy. See, we understand where we have corporation. I didn't learn everything. When I went back to the other Walmart, I was able to do so much. This is going to be over the disability program. We're going to have everybody. We're going to highlight every person that understands the position is going to be to help disability with their CBLs. This is going to be overthink. Every Walmart corporation. God said we got to be ready for change. If you want change, they can be helping stockers with their groceries. They can be doing so much. Come on, we can be so much bagging groceries. This can be so much we can do. And those, but you got to be willing to change those predicaments. There's so many, but you got to be willing to have those change. They can be, some of the girls, they can be helping with the women in the clothes department. Can you help me with this? Come on, can you help me fold it? Let's get the box and help me do this, put this on the shelf. There's so many things that they can do. I worked at a thrift store when I was 14. There's so many things they can do, Walmart can do, and everybody got a part there. But can we willing to pay the price of those things to understand that? So I talked to plenty of people at 2996 where they can be helpful. All right, they doing something. I need you to take and put all this on the hand. We got the tags and put this over there and that, right? You show them what they need to do and this and that. There's so many things that people can do. When the vendors take, people are going to get the clothes from Walmart. You got to be ready to say, all right, you with this, you're going to work with this person. You do what this manager say. And you got the clothes, you got everything. You got the hangers and stuff and all that. You show them where to go. You take them and tell me this. I need you to put all this right here on this record. There's so many things that people can do, but we got to be willing to understand where we want. We got to be willing to understand how can we make that change and do that change the way we want to do it. That's the difference with that avenue. Nobody, no toy, nothing. Nobody, my value always should not be questioned. But when you have narcissists in the business, how can we change that? Come on, Grizz never was like that. If they look at the camera with Grizz never was like that. Grizz never played like that, man. Grizz was always, look at the back room with the cameras and like me, got the electric track, not the thing. You cut on the machine, and I'm learning how to work the machine without even doing a CPR. This is a man that's willing to teach me when out all of the eyes is against it. So we have to understand Grizz. But they didn't like that Grizz was willing to take me to a home to help. I want to show you, we're going to Home Depot right by the Walmart. And he started seeing that Grizz started doing it on a consistency basis. And he didn't like that. So Grizz was like, this man, Grizz was going to Ben leave that place. That was Grizz, but he was going to Ben leave. He can't even take it no more from the stupidity that was going on from Charles. And when I told him I left 12/16, you know what Grizz said? When I was at DFW, I was on the phone talking to a person, Geo, like people I know, Hubert, you doing? He said you did good to leave Walmart. Grizz left because of that. See, you can say what you want to say when we come to hypocrites, but you're dealing with the same person that don't got the same color skin as me, but he learned how to accept me and take me to places. The Home Depot, the Walmart, they got a building right across the street. We're gonna take stuff off and rebuilding it, reputting it. And these are the things that's happening. But when you got certain individuals, that's the difference. He didn't like that Grizz taking me to Home Depot, and we doing this stuff, the Office Depot, and we doing all of this stuff, man. If you're going to talk about honesty, my value have always been given. So what if we have trouble? We got to keep working in and out. And that's the most important thing where let me tell you what I told when I told Jessica. I'm going to tell you something what I told. I'm going to let you know what I told. And I'm at work one day and I said, and I look at my phone and she on my phone and she give me eye contact. And I was on the phone with somebody and I told either they teach me or I walk off and sue them. And she looked at me. I'm talking about I'm giving eye contact to these people. I'm giving eye contact and she texts me. I'm giving eye contact. I want them to understand me where I'm coming from because Governor Abbott is fighting for something and he get to stand there. Him and his politics with no repercussion and keep their job. Then keep that and lie about it. You think I didn't know it was in that mode? Help us find it. Look what you started. Then they got the nerve to complain. That's why I have to say, why you do that? That's sad, Governor Abbott. We dealing with our government that is sad. They sad, but you know God. But you don't know the world. You don't know the behavior of their behavior. But they willing to do everything what they say when we're in those things. Senators, they the cowards. They the cowards because they scared to stand up with God. They the cowards because if they scared of assassination, they scared of threats. They scared of the people teaming up on them, right? They scared like God, and you thought they scared of those things, right? And we talk about they the one that's scared. So they follow the people because they scared of those things. Those scared of those things, those same senators and the rest of them, they scared of those things. They scared to bend the overpower racism. They scared to overpower those things. They scared to overpower when other people got an opinion. They're scared to do these things and these format plans. But I can't go back, partner. That's something we ain't gonna do. They took me for granted too long. God said, I'll give you the same energy. You know, look, man, I have no problem with it, almost everybody. That's not the damn case. But don't come up to me and you tell me about something you don't know of. Baby, my value been shown. And then, you know, when the corporate office came, and I told the Justice Department, I need you to look at the camera in 2019, 18, when they come smiling in my face and then went, come on, talk. That's racism, right? That's the opinion. Come on, let's talk about this. So, remember, you come smiling in my face when you came there. Come on. You see, it's a hypocrite when you come. You think I didn't know who you was. When my little vet, you come smiling. Come on, they really come smiling and look. All that smiling in my face. What me say? I got 5-6 great customer service, but this man is a hypocrite. But don't sit up there and play nice with Joe Biden and play nice and get up there and talk about, to get what you lying on your, they don't catch on to the lying game and anything of it. Catch on to the lies that they tell right now. They say, you know, when they deny me, they deny God. They don't know God like they say they know God. And they talk about keeping everything. You can keep the politics out there. What about God? God name is a body in the whole. You can keep the people in politics. What about God? When you lean on him and forget him and forget everything that he's, with those things is, the understanding of those things. Look what he risking. And you get to sit up in there. You know what Malcolm X got killed for believing in God. And one thing I would not betray. But who was that at farming in there? I'm going to tell you, nobody had. I worked for nobody. You hear me? But they wanted to do something to keep that. I can tell you what that little stunt they pulled when Trump said he did this for us. And I bet you I would tell it all. I would tell it all. That's the difference between, it's a lot of dirty stuff, but do you know? See, the enemy, you got to answer the opposite of things with the enemy sometimes. They ask me, how many family you got? And I answer, no, you know why? Because the enemy haven't came out yet. The enemy, they don't believe in God. They haven't came out yet. The question is, I can give you the answers that you look for. What I mean by that, when God said, when I answer that question of that situation, so I needed the enemy to show itself. Come on, really? So we talking about two topics. Who was the informant in that? That's why I answered the opposite. You have broken car trust. He knows something was off in Dallas County. He knows something. God knew all of these things. But let me tell you, when Trump said everybody's winning, you wouldn't have pulled that stunt that you pulled. You wouldn't have pulled that stunt that you pulled. But don't worry about it, God said. Look, we're going to pray about it, but we ain't going to that. I just found it. My value always been there. And Sabina and them never made my Sabina, anybody never made me feel like any type of way. It was the business people, it was the society punch where they give. So I just gotta look, man, I just gotta do things the way that things is and keep it moving beautiful. Have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Let me get off this thing. Enjoy yourself. Have a good Thanksgiving. And to God, children, or everybody have a great day. God bless. Much love to everybody. Much love to everybody. Much doing that. Look, I'm going to tell you, God said more income will come when growth happens. And it been happening with me. They tried to stop that. And the Social Security will go against it. They will go against it, even when growth. Even when you have to, I want to tell you, when we live in the worlds, that's where they want you to stay at this amount, and you go on a job. They are actually being a part of hypocrites, and they are being a part of the growth stopping of another human being. And you have to understand that, baby. I didn't get this way or not one living. Let me tell you, my teacher at Newman Smith, we go sometimes all of us in Newman Smith, even in my middle school in Plano, in New Orleans, in Plano. Sometimes we go this. They will rent a big pool at this big business hotel, like it's a big thing, and they would throw fishes in the pool, live fishes in the pool. So we would have to go and buy a fishing net from Walmart, and all of us, and my mama had it in the thing. All of us would get our little chair and we have to fish. And we go to school late. They would let us go fishing in the pool. Like it was really there, and we have to catch that fish. See, that's the difference. They put a bunch of fishes in the pool, and we would have to catch that fish. Value have always been given, but the Narcissists are black, and them took that for granted at 12, 16. Let me tell you something. In orientation, you got 5 people on the left. I'm sitting at this table in 12, 16. You got 5 people on the left of the table. You got 5 people on the right. You got one person on the end of the, another person on. I'm at the end of the table, and Charles is at the end. And one person standing by. Charles is telling everybody the good thing, but he looking at my eyes with racism. So when you got a man that's looking at you with racism, how can you got 5 people on the left of the table, 5 people on the right? I'm at the other end of the table. And got another person on the end, but he's standing right on the side of that person. How can you understand when a man looking at you, he's telling everybody else the things they doing, but he look at me with racism? It is there. You're looking at. We can stop talking about it, but it's there. in the American business is of the conflict of what we got going. Dylan Miller can't handle the truth. Y'all gotta stop, man. Y'all can't handle the truth when I didn't. No, my first interview, I'm gonna tell y'all something. My first interview, and my sister-in-law actually helped me fill out application. Ticket to Work program had nothing to do with these things. They helped me fill out the application. My first time was to be a greeter at 1216. And I didn't get that job. They didn't even ask me how my personality is. How would you act? Like they didn't even ask all of these things. Ask all of these things in the interview, like about your friends. How do you socialize in the real world? Like these are the questions that you would ask somebody more about their personalities. How do things actually as family? How do you like how do you do those things? And I'm like, hold up, because I got great customer service, but 1216, then I'm like, hold up. Those things was the problem. They don't ask me the questions that need to be asked. So they don't ask me the questions that need to be asked in those formats. But if we are talking about these things, how can we understand it? For number one, look, it's so much manipulation going on. I got woken up for something that somebody told me to do because he got experience. And Renee with her dumb self woke me up on my first time working at that. Why I'm getting woke up for somebody that been there long enough. And that been there long enough, and I'm learning from him. These are hypocrites in the business. These are hypocrites. So I will see y'all later, man. We got this values don't even need. Let me tell you, my value, my blessings, my season, they have taken that for granted by lying and manipulating that trust, manipulating the ability of him to get to that. My game had my question. You should have never even questioned it. These are the people that's being hypocrite in the American corporations. But people are later gonna tell me I'm lying on how I gotta know. You speaking about stuff you have no idea. You're not there. You're not there when I'm dealing with the mindsets and the personalities. And I gotta deal with the mindset and the personalities. You're not there when I'm dealing with all of these things, what I gotta deal with. You surely wasn't there when I was a kid. Like literally you wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.